we picked up this property close to about 420,000. Now where it sits, it's about 1.4 million. And eventually, you'll see we'll tear it down and we'll build one of those, right, over time. So I want to go into that property. There we go. So this is the unit. The previous tenant was here for probably about three to 4 years, and you know, what are the kind of upgrades that we're going to do here?
Purpose powerful enough will make you unstoppable.
My friends, welcome to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I am the Godfather, Alfonso Cuadra. I wanted to come by this property here. This is another one of those legacy properties I've owned for years. I believe close to, I want to say 10 years. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to get back to you on that. But I own this with partners, joint venture partners, and just to give you some context, you know, look, if you see what's happening in this area, they're building big properties, and so the area is definitely gentrifying. We picked up this property close to about 420,000. Now where it sits, it's about 1.4 million. We just did the windows. If you see, brand new windows. But you know, over time we're going to start to really change things. Maybe we'll change the siding. We'll change. We did go and replace the roof a few years back. So there's a lot of capital expenditures. And that's what's going to happen over time. You own something over time, and you'll be able to go back and keep maintaining that property. And eventually, you'll see we'll tear it down and we'll build one of those, right, over time. So I want to go into that property. We have one unit vacant. Actually, it's almost, out of the hundreds of doors that we own, pretty much it's our only vacant unit right now. There we go. So this is the unit. Actually, the previous tenant was here for probably about three to 4 years, and you know, what are the kind of upgrades that we're going to do here? We're probably, you know, at the end of the day, you can't go crazy. And a big thing that I see a lot of new investors doing, they tend to over renovate. So, you know, if you see there, it's a 2-bedroom, so this would be considered a bedroom. And at one point, this was an extension, and you had this space here that was converted into a bedroom. And then over here, this is the other bedroom, right? And so it's got a window too over here, because obviously this was an extension. So we were able to convert a 1-bedroom into a 2-bedroom. So what are the kind of renovations that we're going to do here? Well, floors, paint. It's kind of like a unique little place. If you see, it's got this little extra space here. You know, it's got this little extra space where now you can only be Latino to live here. But it's got like a really unique little attic space. So the attic space was converted into, now we can't officially advertise this as a third bedroom, but you know, I've seen people, they put their bed on the ground here, and you know, we call it an attic, you know, but it is a bit of a unique building. Just
to a 5-unit building?
It's five units, yeah.
And what are like the typical rents?
So all the rents right now are between 13 to 1400. So when we purchased the property, all the rents were about $650, and so over time we've been able to increase all the rents. This one here, it's going to be rented for about $1350. Now we're not going to over renovate. We have new windows. We're going to do paint. We're going to look at maybe changing out the floors, maybe clean it up on the way up the stairs. We always make sure, if we haven't, you want to get new hardware. The only thing people touch when they're walking a property is the hardware. You have no idea the value that you get by just changing out the hardware, because think about it. If you're walking through a property and the hardware it doesn't feel good, it's old and raggedy, that's the feeling that you're gonna get as a tenant throughout the property. Change the hardware, change the face plates. Don't be cheap. This is like $1.50, right? And so all of the things that, you know, this hardware, we're going to change out this hardware, this little hardware. This is a little, like a pantry little area, but little things here and there will go a long way. We will paint out the cabinets. Backsplash, I think it's in good condition. Clean it up. The appliances, I think if we want to get, you know, more than $1,400, we could probably invest a little bit into the appliances. But at the end of the day, you know, clean, patch, and paint. Don't over renovate if the neighborhood doesn't call for it at the moment. And at the end of the day, every single dollar will add value to that property. So the trick is not going too far where you can't make that money back.
I have a question or two.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, you know, you said eventually probably tear this down, build something bigger. What goes through your mind? When is the right time to do that? When are you deciding with your JV partners that that's the right move to make? Like, are you watching, of course, what's going on in the neighborhood, but like, what's your cue to be like, it's time to take that action?
Yeah, so it could be a variety of different things. If you look at your property and you look at where are you maxed out? Can you carry it for a little bit longer? Because it's not an easy process. You have to apply with the city. You have to maybe change the zoning. You have to have a site plan approval. You have to get architects involved. And if you're not ready to go through all of those steps, it might not be the right time for you yet. But while you think about it, the entire neighborhood starts to change. And so when I see everyone has really, like, you know, started to create like high density, right? Because that's what most cities are looking for. They're looking for, how can we solve this vacancy crisis? And they don't want you to start building out in Timbuktu. They want high density, because obviously they can leverage all the local services. And so if you look out into if you look out into the neighborhood, you'll see that people are starting to build, right? You see, this whole condominium structure wasn't even there. And so, to answer your question, when is the right time? I think the numbers will speak for themselves. So you'll have to go through all of the steps in order to get a site plan approved, and you need to figure out, have you recouped enough of your money to now invest into pursuing a build? And is the area set up for you to go higher so you can maximize the space, right? So for example, these guys, their site plan, they got a site plan approval. I don't know exactly how many stories that is, but we can definitely build high here. But maybe the area is not ready for that. Maybe it's not ready for 6 floors, for example. So we may have to wait a little bit. And so we just watch what other people are doing in that particular area. We look at our finances. We want to make sure that we put in the right capital expenditures, because ultimately if we need to keep it, for example, we put in new windows. It was about $23,000 to put new windows in the entire property. We might, like, you know, we want to make sure we get our money back from those windows, so we're not ready to start renovating, start tearing this down today. But in 5 years, in 10 years from now, this whole entire area, you're going to see it's going to be all either low density or high density type of apartment buildings that you'll see in this area. So that will be an indicator for us that it's time. This is the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I am the Godfather, Alfonso Cuadra. All of our information is probably down below. So check us out. We're going to be doing a lot of these videos. Come back here. There's so much content in this Canadian Real Estate Channel. It's incredible. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you at the top.